Okay. Hello, I'm Carl Large. Welcome to my show. I hope you're having a great holiday time, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this webisode. So let's get into it. Just hear those mailbags jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a mailbag opening with you, Carl Large. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you who. Come on, it's lovely and again, Carl Large. Ring-a-ling, dong, ring-a-ling, ding-dong, a-dong, hello, Christmas time, Carl Large. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and we're opening letters with you. I'm gonna answer all your questions and have a good time with you. Just hear those Christmas both everybody's country. And the Christmas everyone is at Carl Large is here for you. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, Carl Large. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-dong, Carl Large. Ding-a-Carl Large, ling-a-ling-dong, ding-dong. Hello. And oh no, now it's just this is just the bridge of the song. There's no official lyrics in this part of it. So I'll just let the music play out while we just enjoy that little bit of Christmas spirit. Ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong-dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling, Carl Large, she is here. Ring-a-dong-dong, Carl Large in charge with Carl Large in charge. Large in charge. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and we're opening the mailbag too. And I'll answer your questions and look up things on the websites. And we're going back to the Christmas memories bright. And Carl Large came on the back and said, my Carl Large Christmas. Ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong, ding-a-dong-dong. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-dong-a-dong, ding-dong. Carl Large. I'm Carl Large, and this is Carl's Mailbag. Welcome to Carl Large, Large in Charge in Charge, with Carl Large and in charge. I'm here for the second episode. I'll stop that music. That's annoying. That's just annoying. I thought I'd have some music underneath me while I speak, but it's just irritating. I'm here in the podcast studio for a pre-Christmas treat where I will talk to you and give you all kinds of things as in answer your cues with some A's. So I got onto the Patreon with a bunch of different people of the listeners of the Greg Larson Show, and I asked you to ask me some questions, some things that you would like to know about or want my opinion on. I've lived a pretty extensive life, doing all kinds of things from my previous job as an archivist at the State Library of Queensland. I've also worked at a deli counter. So I've been around the place, whether it's, potato salad or the filing of a document about the street names of the CBD of Brisbane. Either way, I, know a little bit. But more than knowing a lot of things, I also have a curious mind. So I like to investigate, go out on the case. I wonder if there's some kind of investigation music here. No, that's not really relevant.
that's okay. Oh, no. No, that's a bit silly. No. I'll stop that now. It's tempting to be a bit silly at Christmas time, isn't it? You know, doing little voices and things like that. But no. We'll get serious now. Blah 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 blah. Oh, that's a bit silly.
No. We'll stop that now. That's Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5. Not to be confused with the Jackson Jive. Don't look that up on the internet. The Jackson Jive. You don't want to know about it. So I'm going to answer some of your questions here. I'll play a little sound and then I'll read a question and then I'll answer the question. Does that sound like a program you'd listen to? On your Carl Larges and your Large in Charge? It's your mailbag. I don't know what the webisode will be called. Something to do with mailbags or charge in large. But in any case, let's get stuck. Let's tuck in.
Crabman.
The frig is that? Okay, question one. Question one. I'm gonna go anonymous with these questions. I don't want to call anyone out, but these are people that have asked on the Patreon, on the Greg Larson Patreon page. They've asked the questions, and because they pay the money, they get first dibs on these kinds of things. So they thank you, Patreons, or maybe I will read out the names actually to thank you for being on the Patreon. Spurt Gusher. Okay. Ugh. God. Are they all going to be names like Spurt Gusher? That's disgusting.
Crabman.
What is this Crabman? Anyway, Spurt Gusher has asked, "Hi, Carl Large. Have you heard of that new podcast, Piss Story? The History of Piss?" And I apologise for using that kind of language. I'm reading what Spurt Gusher, grow up Spurt Gusher, has written. Do you think they're stealing your piss? Any plans for retaliation? Now, I've already had a quick goggle of this, and it's like a piss story, the history of piss, and I suspect, Spurt Gusher, that this is a little bit of a prank. I suspect that you're pulling my pud a little bit here. My pud has been pulled by you because I'm not seeing any results for this. It's when I type in piss story, the history of piss, the goggle results say, did you mean history? The history of piss? I see a blog called Piss Blog, a Piss Story Part 2 from June 2007. I wonder what's on that. I'll have a look at that. Piss Blog, a Piss Story. Here's a continuation. Oh, it's this long story about being spread-eagled on a bed, pissing, open up, darling, John's got something for your hot solid thrust. Deep inside my defenceless quim left little room for doubt as to what it was. And then with John's rock-hard prick plunging methodically in and out Sally's movements as she wriggled around with me, striving to keep my tongue in the right place, became slowly more animated. Okay, what is this website? Pissblog.com, and there's categories: Athens girls, Audrey's wetting site, babes peeing, bed wetting, black pissing, court pissing, cheating XXX wife, Club Sandy, couples peeing, diaper pissing, dress pissing, drinking piss, got to pee with two with a number 2, hairy pussy pissing. Jesus. Let's look what you've done. spurt gusher. I don't like it. You've pulled my pud. That was a Christmas prank. I don't know about this piss story. I've seen enough piss-related things to fill up a book. And the book would be titled, I Don't Want to Read This Book, by Carl Large. Yeah. Trying to play different sounds before I read a question, and all the sounds are just yuck. So this next person, Freya. Okay, normal, good name, Freya. Hello, Dr. Large. Please don't call me Dr. Large. I can't be called Dr. Large. I love Getting Large with Professor Carl, the podcast, but I have to confess something. I was sceptical when you described your encounter with TV's Dr. Carl. So I emailed him about it. Oh, no. Please don't email him, Freya. I don't need the hassle. Good news, he had forgotten the whole thing and you had no reason to worry. Out of respect for your position, I did refer to you as Dr. Carl, though. I won't repeat what he said in response, but you'll probably want to be on guard from now on. Sorry about that. Well, that's the last thing I blimmin' need, Freya. As I said in a previous podcast webisode, Dr. Carl did TV's Dr. Carl for any American or British or anyone from overseas listeners. Dr. Carl is a famous doctor who answers questions, and his name is Carl, spelled with a K. My name is with a C, and I'm not a doctor of any stretch of the imagination. I ask you, please don't ever refer to me as Dr. Carl or Dr. Large, because Dr. Carl will punch me in the stomach again, and he did the first time. He took me to a warehouse in Sydney and he punched me in the stomach and said he'd kill me if I ever called myself Dr. Carl, and I never had called myself Dr. Carl, so I don't know what he's on about there. But he's a violent, angry man. Please, at all costs, don't enrage Dr. Carl. Anyway, Freya then says, anyway, my question is, read any good books lately? Yes, I recently read a book about testicular cancer. It was very eye-opening, the different ways that tumours can be developed and found in the testicle. So thank you, Freya, for that question, and I hope my answer was gorgeous to you.
Oh, I've got cum in my tongue.
Oh, God. Okay, next question here comes from Beck. Hi, Carl. My boyfriend from the UK says that Australia smells more than the UK. Smells more than the UK. Okay, well, I'll dispute that, but we'll get on to the question. We think it's because there's more hot piss in the air here. I thought we were over this piss business. And over there it freezes and gets washed away. What do you think, Carl? Have you ever been to the UK? We know Geggy has. X for a little kiss. Thank you, Beck. I won't give a kiss in return as it would be inappropriate, but certainly a nice firm handshake and to say thanking you and for your question and in full respect and platonic feelings, I would shake your hand. Now, Carl, my boyfriend from the UK says Australia smells more than the UK. Well, I think you are just telling little porcupines. I think your boyfriend's telling little porcupines. I have been to the UK. Yes, I have been to the UK. I went there for a convention on archiving, an archiving convention. I went to King's Cross, to the main train station there, and I've never in my life have I smelled urine more strongly than in the city of London. It was the most urine I'd ever been around in a single go. In one single go have I never seen more urine. Just the amount of urine everywhere. And it was blatant. Every bridge you walk under, every alcove, there was an English or a Scotch or a Welsh, and they were just urinating, not only on everything but on themselves as well. I saw people urinating into their own mouths in a Greg's bakery. You know, I saw a family of 4 lying on their backs in the middle of King's Cross, urinating in the air. The police did nothing. It's just just disgusting. The urine that just flowed. It was literally a torrent. At one point, I was crossing a little footbridge, and there was just a torrent of urine, like a tidal wave came down, and it actually swept me off my feet, and I found myself going down the streets of London, going past those red double-decker buses, screaming as I fought against the tidal wave of urine, and others seemed to be riding the urine as though it were their preferred method of public transportation. It was like in there was an animated show that I thought was just stupid. Future Men. There was a robot and a crab and a woman with one eye, and they all travelled in tubes, and that's enough for me. I just went, no, turn it off. But that's what London was like. It was like people travelling in instead of tubes, it was rivers of urine, and they floated down them. I'm actually upset that your boyfriend would claim that Australia smelled more like urine than the UK. The UK was mostly urine. I've never seen somewhere with more urine than that. I'm so serious about this. It makes me very upset. Your boyfriend makes me very upset, and I think that you should end the relationship. I think, as far as I'm concerned, that's a big red flag, and it's unsalvageable from there. So thank you, very Beck, in your comments, and in respect of friendship, I shake your hand. Thank you. Next, Q.
Piss inside my asshole.
Oh my God.
Shit ass piss.
No.
Pre-cum.
I can't get away from all this urine and piss talk. Timbo has asked, thank you for joining us again, Dr. Carl. Don't call me Dr. Carl. I don't want the real Dr. Carl to punch me in the stomach or put me in a leather harness. He said he was going to hang me up from a leather harness and punch my testicles. I don't want that to happen. So Timbo has said, thank you for joining us again, Mr. Carl. I've changed the word that he wrote. I've changed it to Mr. Carl. Many years ago, whilst I was in high school, my friend showed me a website that was called Square Cats, and it showed how they grew and made cats into square glass objects, and I'm still not sure if it was real or not. Can you please investigate? Well, luckily for you, I have read these questions in advance, and I looked this up. I did a bunch of googling, and I binged it. I prefer Bing as a search tool. And the website was called Bonsai Kittens, and it was a website that showed cats being put into glass jars, and then they would grow in the glass jar in the shape of a square, and then you would have a square cat. You could also have a circular cat or a cylinder cat. Now, I have looked this up on a website called Snopes. Snopes, I think that's Spanish. Snopes, Snopes, Snopes. And this is absolutely a false hoax. This was an internet hoax. There was never a thing. Now, they do have a quote here from someone that has it was a forward email chain around 2001. It says, and I quote, "To anyone with love and respect for life, in New York there is a Japanese who sells bonsai kittens. Sounds like fun, huh? Not. These animals are squeezed into a bottle, their urine and feces removed through probes." Ugh. I'd just like one question that doesn't involve urine or feces. They feed them with a tube. They feed them chemicals to keep their bones soft and flexible so the kittens grow into the shape of a bottle. The animals will stay there as long as they live. They can't move or walk or wash themselves. Bonsai kittens are becoming fashion in New York and Asia. Hoax. Absolute hoax. It was hoax of the day. There were other hoaxes around the start of the internet. There was one called manbeef.com. Now, don't be goggling or binging that one because you'll find all kinds of different websites that have different things to do with man beef that aren't. But anyway, this was a hoax website that around the same time as the Bonsai Kittens one that claimed to sell human meat, and that it was legal in certain jurisdictions if your person has died and they've donated their body to manbeef.com, you're allowed to buy their meat and eat them as steaks. Incorrect. It was all a big hoax. That was the thing with the internet back in the day. There were lots of little hoaxes and things going around, and those things luckily have all sort of ceased and desisted. Now the internet has just a lot of normal, it's a lot more normal, a lot more, things that are, real rather than these silly little bonsai kittens and manbeef.com. So I'm afraid that was a hoax, but luckily we are wiser today, and we can spot those kinds of hoaxes with ease. So thank you, Timbo, for your question. I pushed the same button. I shouldn't have done that. I pushed the same button. Stop it. Stop it. All right, thank you, Timbo. Now, Timbo Slice, a different person, I suppose. Hi, Mr. Carl. I've changed it. Please stop calling me Dr. Carl. I don't want to get punched in the stomach or hung up in a harness, leather harness, and punched in the testicles by the real Dr. Carl. So please stop. Hi, Dr. Carl. I was thinking about trying to enter the market selling luxury designer laxatives. Luxury designer laxatives. In brackets, think Gucci and Prada. I was wondering if you could do a celebratory endorsement. I think you mean celebrity endorsement, but I'm certainly no celebrity. I shouldn't have pushed that button again. What? It would really help. If you were interested, we could even do a special edition suppository with your initials written on it with real gold flakes. Let me know. Timbo Slice, to quote the film The Castle, you're absolutely having a dream. You're like that's a grubby situation that I would not be involved in. I would never get involved with that. I'm actually going to not block you, but block out your you from my thoughts. Timbo Slice. From my thoughts, I'm going to block you out and not think of you anymore. Just grubby. And things like that, no room for it in my life. Oh, that's all right. That's actually... Alistair, who's put their last name, but I won't say the last name. Keep them a little bit... Anonymous. That would be a really good Christmas movie. Anonymous mice who go around and help people with their Christmas presents. I'm going to write that down. Oh, Anonymous. That's fun. Alistair has said, Dear Carl, is it okay that every time I sing the carol, O come all ye faithful, I get aroused? How does it make you feel? Well, the carol makes me feel normal. It makes me feel normal. When I hear carols, I feel normal, like a normal person. If you get aroused, well, I would say that's a special private feeling, and special private feelings should stay private. So, whatever your special private feelings are, I would keep them private. It's nobody's business but your own. Trivia. Oh. Okay, Jacqueline Jacqueline has excuse me there. Jacqueline has written, "Hi, Carl. Can you please help me decide whether to use paper plates or normal ones for Christmas dinner?" Well, this is a question close to my heart. You see, on the one hand, normal plates, you're helping the environment. Paper plates, you're helping your own cleanup. It's hard for me to tell you what you should do, but I can certainly tell you what you should not do. I was looking into this one Christmas, and I thought, is there a way I can eliminate the work that I need to do, but at the same time not have something environmentally unsound? And I goggled it, I binged it, and I found out that there is a completely waste-free yet cleanup-free method of consuming food that I didn't think about enough. Now, I saw something called human sushi, where people will consume sushi off a person, and the idea to me was interesting. I thought, well, that's actually that's using a bit of ingenuity and it's there's zero waste. You're not having any paper plates that you're throwing in the bin. Finger food that you just lay on top of a person. A person, is consenting and willing to have food laid across them. I thought, why not? Let's try that for Christmas instead of. But I called them up and I said, look, I don't want sushi for Christmas. I want a traditional Christmas. I want turkey and lamb and prawns and ham and salad and stuff like that. Traditional for Australian Christmas. Again, any international listeners, it's a blimmin' hot day. And so a lady came out, and I didn't think about the ramifications of this. The lady is naked. It's a naked lady lying on a table, and with all these bits of lamb and ham and chicken and stuffing and everything all strewn about her naked flesh. And it is supposed to be something that's quite horny for people who are, very horny people. And I was just doing it to be good for the environment. And at the end of the day, too, I don't have any. I would say I don't have any sort of, friends or family to speak of. It was just myself at Christmas, just my own little Christmas lunch. And it made for a very awkward day to sit there while carols were playing and she lay on my table. And I was a bit too nervous to sort of address it, so I just didn't say anything at all. We didn't speak in any way. I just sat there in silence whilst carols played. And I felt awkward because the carol Silent Night was playing, and I'd accidentally pushed repeat on the song. So just the song played over and over again, Silent Night. And I just felt too awkward and nervous to acknowledge that I had made that mistake. So it just played on repeat. And I also was very conscious of, I didn't know what the etiquette is because, she was paid by the hour. And I thought, I want to make sure she's paid a good amount. So I ate very slowly, and it took about 3 hours of her lying there on the table. And I didn't say anything. And I mostly just had my eyes closed because I was too afraid to interact with her. It would make it strange. So I sat there for 3 hours with my eyes closed as I ate lamb off a naked lady whilst the carol Silent Night played on repeat. And it was, if I'm being honest, one of the all-time worst Christmases I've ever had. So I would suggest, if you're concerned about the mess, just get a paper plate. Don't worry about the environment. Just get a paper plate. Thank you, Jocelyn.
At Holy Molly's Strike Bowling and Hijinks Hotel.
Brisbane's #1 hit music station. B105.
Brisbane traffic. Just tax time, switch to
Okay, thank you, Jocelyn. Michael has asked, hey, Carl, first-time writer, large-time listener, large all in caps, a little bit of a pun there. I don't know if that's a pun. You strike me as a man with some manuscripts. I wonder if you had any movie ideas and if you could run us through your pitch. Well, thank you very much, Michael. I actually do have quite a few movie ideas. I don't want to spoil too many of them, but I thought I'd run you through a couple of my ideas. I've written, I would say, if I'm being honest, I've probably written about 150 screenplays, and I'm very keen to have some of them produced. One that I wrote just recently, my most recent one, is called The Special Frog. Won't go into too many details to spoil it, and also, in case someone steals the idea. But it's about a special frog that's very, very good at being a frog, and a lot of the stuff it gets involved with is quite special. So The Special Frog. That's one of the ones I've been working on. I'm very happy with that script, actually. I've got another script. One of my older scripts, actually, is called The World's Fattest Boy. It's about it's about as it does what it says on the tin. It's a movie about the world's fattest boy and the trials and tribulations he faces, but also the fun, because being the world's fattest boy does have some perks with it as well. Now, there's my other film. I've got a cartoon film that I've written called Dinosaur Dad, about a brachiosaurus that's a dad of a regular boy, and all the hijinks they get up to. Got another one called Magic Environment. That's just just a fantasy magic thing about they wander into this strange environment that's quite weird and magic, and magic things happen. I wrote another movie that actually one of my personal favorites. It's just called Slippin'. Just slippin'. Like slipping, but with a apostrophe and no G, slippin'. And that's kind of one of those sort of what if movies. And that's a what if movie. What if everything in the world got extremely slippery? What if everything was just really slippery? Well, overnight we woke up one day and it was all just slippery as all buggery. What would it be like? And that's called Slippin'. Another one called Mango Dreamin'. Again, drop the G with a little apostrophe. That's just about a man that loves his mangoes, and he's thinking about it. And lastly, a biopic. Well, it's not really a biopic. I guess it's a product biopic. It's called Cup of Coke, the story of Coke. And it's just about Coca-Cola. I thought, no one's made one. I'll make one. And it's called Cup of Coke. So, pour yourself a cup of Coke and watch the story of Coke, Cup of Coke. So those are my movies, and if anyone hears from the Hollywood agencies or anything, please get into it.
Crabman.
Oh, this Crabman, I'm not into that. Okay, what else have we got here? The questions. Hi, Carl. I saw a video the other day where someone said the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, well, actually, I'm not going to read it. The Damon has asked me to watch this video, so I'm going to watch it and see what I think. So I'll watch it live now. It's a conspiracy theory about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So let's watch. Oh no, it's got no sound.
Ninja Turtles is a show about reptiles, reptilians, living underground in underground tunnels. What food do they like the most? Pizza.
Pizza, yes.
Pizza is code word for pedophiles.
Whoa.
Their connection with April is their connection to the mainstream media, how they influence the masses from behind the scenes. So Shredder, we owe you an apology, fam. These writers just put it in front of our faces for too long. I hate to break it to you, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a show about reptiles.
Okay, so what they're saying is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are about pedophiles, and they eat pizza. And everyone's here. Thank you for telling us this. The comments are saying, Cowabunga is the password to get over the ice wall. I don't know what that means. Someone saying they're just turtles. Okay, now there's some really yucky stuff here that I don't want to repeat. What do I think about that? I think bloody nonsense. I think bloody get out of your little box that you live in. If you live in a box, and can't someone just watch a show about turtles? Has to be about something. Everything has to be about something. Why can't something just be about turtles? Why does everything's always got to be this thing, and you read it and then you go, oh, it's actually about this. No, I just want to see something about turtles. So I hate that, and I don't want to be around stuff like that. Thank you. Damon has asked another question to... normally I would say only one question per, but I'll allow it. Hi, Carl. I'm sick of blokes having a piss. Oh, my God. This episode should just be called Carl's World of Piss. Hi, Carl. I'm sick of blokes having a piss and not washing their hands afterwards. There's literally no reason not to, as it takes any time at all to wash your hands. Well, absolutely agree with you. There's no reason not to. It obviously does take time. It takes an amount of seconds. That's a measurable fact. So you're actually incorrect there, Damon. But having said that, of course, it is time well spent. Grubby C words. I'm not even going to say that word. I'd like to hear your thoughts on how to combat this. If I see someone walk out of the bathroom and not wash their hands, I will immediately alert the staff. I will speak to the manager. I will speak to all staff. I will say, that man there in the red shirt hasn't washed his hands. If they don't do anything, I will lay down in silent protest. Always. And there's nothing else you can do about that. So thank you, Damon, for your question. Let's rock on. Alini has asked, can you solve the problem of what the actual F is happening? Alini, I think I can solve the problem of what the F is happening. Everyone is going on their web streams. Everyone's going on their podcasts like this one. I mean, this is part of the problem, isn't it? You're going on your web streams, you're going on your Facebooks, you're going on all that stuff, and you're seeing all the bad. If you just don't go on the internet and the web streams, you feel normal all the time. I feel normal all the time. Every day I feel normal. I don't even go on these things. I record this. This is the only time I ever get on the internet, is when I have to look up the things for this podcast. And I'm happy to do it for this little web stream to expand my horizons. And I admit I live a pretty sheltered life, but I just don't go on the internet on my day-to-day life. You know what I did the other week? I made 30 paper mache faces of my own face using toilet paper. I spent the day making paper mache faces. I got a lot of toilet paper and I did different facial expressions. So some of them are crying, some of them are laughing, some of them are angry. 30 Carls, paper mache out of toilet paper, and then I put on a little play. That's just, and I just felt happy. I just sat there. I did a little play with the paper mache, and I did a little play with all my faces, and I called it Too Many Carls, and it was a big success in my living room, and I just had a great time. Didn't go on the web streams, didn't go on the internet, didn't know about anything or see anything. I just saw 30 different versions of my own face made of toilet paper, and it was a very fun day. And then the next day, you know what I did? I picked some tomatoes from my garden. That's what I did. I went into my garden, I picked some tomatoes. They were all extremely plump. They were so plump that I decided to have a plump off, a little plump battle to see which was the plumpest. That was my day, seeing which tomato was the plumpest. And in the end, they were all bloomin' winners. You know, they're all bloomin' winners. They're all plump. If you don't go on the web streams, that's the kind of day you have. If you just log off, you can be having a plump day with beautiful times. So thank you, Eleni. That's my advice to you, and that's my solution to solve the problem. Don't go on the web streams.
Here we go.
I've got Michael here has said, hi, Dr. Carl. Mr. Carl, please stop. I've been offered a great opportunity to invest in a multi-level marketing scheme called felching and snowballing. Could you please Google it and let me know if there's anything I should know before I hand over my personal information to them? Okay. I will have a look. I don't know what I'll say. Google it. I'll Bing it. I'll do a binging. What is it? Felching and snowballing. Okay. Felching and snowballing bear backers. Maybe they're backing the business, I think. Let's have a look at this one. No, it's not letting me watch that. It says I have to log in or register. I'm not going to register for something. I'll see a different video. Rimming and felching? Oh, we need to see the snowballing. Muscle Daddy Felch and Snowball 3. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what this one is. Sorry, it's just a video that's loading. I'm not sure what the video is. Maybe it's information about the video is still loading. Lots of ads popping up. Oh.
Pause it for a second.
Well, okay. Oh, okay. So what's happening? There's a gentleman. Look, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum here. A gentleman has there's two more gentlemen. Just gonna watch this. Yes, okay. All right, so I suspect this is another one of those Christmas pranks where someone has decided to pull my pud a little bit and got me to look up pornography. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and make light of it. I mean, people have different lifestyles and different journeys and different things that they enjoy. And I'm on a journey of discovery here. And I certainly respect and, looking at this video here. Okay, so felching and snowballing, I'm not sure which is which and what's what, if they're the same thing or what, but I'm seeing a compilation video. Let me just scroll through. Yeah, here's another one. Yes. Similar things happening in each one, which is, yeah, okay. Let me just check this. Yeah, similar things happening in each one, which is someone will be ejaculating into someone else's bumhole, I suppose you would say it, and then consuming the ejaculate from the bumhole. So that's what that is, and that's not a multi-level marketing scheme. If there is a multi-level marketing thing involving that, then I don't know where the payment comes from exactly. I mean, I guess you could pay someone to do that, but that's not really a multi-level marketing, is it? That's just paying for a service. So I suspect that that Michael there is pulling my pud, so to speak. But the joke's on you, Michael, because I respect all all walks of life, and I think that while that specific act might not necessarily be my personal cup of tea, it's someone's cup of tea, and I think drink your tea whatever your tea, however you like it, whether it's an Earl Grey or if it's an ejaculate coming from a bumhole, whatever you're into, that's A-OK with Mr. Large. Matthew has asked, "Hi Carl, how much would you say is a normal amount to sweat while you're taking a poo, and when does it become a genuine medical concern?" Bonus question, how much do you sweat on the toilet? Well, that's a personal question about personal feelings, but having said that, it is a medical question, and people, I would always advise, talk to your GP. I'm not qualified to give medical advice. It's as simple as that. I can say I usually sweat about 2 to 3 litres when I'm on the toilet. I don't know what's normal, what's not normal, but that's the yardstick that I'm coming from. I'll usually sweat about 2 to 3 litres of liquid, and I will save that sweat and use it for my tomato plants. So thank you for that one. Next question, where are we at here? Al has asked, "Hi Carl, do you think it's reasonable to draw a direct line between the genocide in Gaza and the terrorist attack in Bondi? As the latter being motivated by the former, do you think the terror attack was motivated or enabled by local pro-Palestinian protests?" Al, my name's Carl Large. I worked as an archivist at the State Library of Queensland. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'll tell you this, Al. I'm not going to speak to that terrible, horrific tragedy, what a disgusting and despicable thing that was. Other than to say what a disgusting and despicable thing that was, a terrible, terrible thing. And the person that's at fault are the people that did it. It's disgusting, and those people are disgusting. They're the ones at fault. They're the ones who did it. They're the ones who bear the responsibility. As for anyone who would say that was the terror attack motivated or enabled by local pro-Palestinian protests, grow up. I don't really go on the internet. I don't really read the news, but I mean, you could it's not a controversial statement to say that Israel has committed genocide. I mean, you're allowed to say, you're allowed to protest when someone does a genocide. You're allowed to protest when someone does something terrible. And then if someone does something terrible, that might be that might be on your side, you're allowed to say that's terrible too. No, if someone does a genocide, you can say it, and you can go, "Oh, I'll protest it." And you wouldn't go to a protest against Nazis, and then if someone killed a German person, then you'd say, well, actually maybe Nazis are okay after all. No, you're allowed to protest a terrible thing, and when another terrible thing happens, that's also a terrible thing, and you're allowed to hate both terrible things. People need to grow up. People need to grow up and stop saying it's either one thing or the other thing. It's just two terrible things happened, and you're allowed to say that both of those things are despicable and terrible. The genocide is terrible. The massacre is terrible. They're both friggin' terrible. I don't know if I should be answering these kind of questions. Thank you, Al.
It's just changed my voice. Hang on.
Tonight, join Lloyd Langford.
Okay, this is the last question from Deb. Hi, Carl. Been hoping Greg would keep providing you a platform. Well, thank you. Good to be here, large in charge. Now, I don't know if this is in your realm of expertise, but I don't know who else to turn to at this point. The thing is, I have lots of cats. I have a lot of cats, like way too many cats, 25 cats. They're all rescues and they have very good lives, but they cost so much money and they take up so much time. I think I need to monetize them in a way that makes their care and upkeep self-sustainable somehow. I've thought about trying to make them Instagram famous, but it turns out that takes effort and marketing, two things that make me sick to my stomach. Have you ever been in a situation like this before, Carl? What would you do? Thanks, love you. That's Deb saying that. I will not return the love you thing, not to be in any offensive way, but to simply say platonically and respectfully, a firm handshake back to you, Deb, in a responsible and professional way. 25 cats is a lot of cats. Now, people love cats and kittens, certainly. Good on you. Obviously, with that amount of cats, toxoplasmosis is a concern. Toxoplasmosis is a type of parasite that is found in the feces of cats. 1 in 3 people in Australia actually have toxoplasmosis, and it's incurable. Once you have it for the rest of your life. It often will affect your vision, including things like floaters and deteriorating vision. I have it. I have toxoplasmosis. The chances are, if you've ever owned a cat, then you have it too, and it affects my vision. Again, if you have vision issues, then it almost certainly could be caused by toxoplasmosis. In indoor cats, if you have an indoor cat, then you have toxoplasmosis. You're infected with the parasite. And if you have an outdoor cat, well, then they kill about 1.5 billion native animals in Australia every year. That's just the native animals. Obviously, they kill a lot more than that, including non-native animals. They've contributed directly to the extinction of about 20 of Australia's mammals, and continue to threaten the survival of many Australian native species. So, 25 cats, tricky. It's a tricky situation because of the toxoplasmosis and the devastating effect, ecological effect, and the immediate effects to your health and the health and well-being of those around you. But I think that this bonsai kittens thing might not be such a bad idea. The bonsai kittens turned out to be a hoax, but what if they? I've seen cats. They love getting in little spots. They love crawling into little spots. Keep them in jars. They'd like that, I think. They like getting into all little bits. There's a family of cats that lives under my house. It's a tiny space. You can't get them out. They just all crawl up in there. They just want to be crammed in there. I had a cat growing up. It would find a little box and it would get in the box. It would just stay in the box. Its little head poking out. So if the bonsai kittens was a hoax, maybe make it a reality. You could get famous with your 25 cats. You could have a cylinder cat, a spherical cat, a zigzag cat. I would like a zigzag cat. If someone showed me a zigzag cat on Instagram, I'd go, well, hey, that's a bit wackadoo for a Sunday afternoon. But, look, if the cats like getting in small spots and going all... Cats are pretty liquid anyway, aren't they? Like people say that, the human body's 75% liquid. I've heard people say that the cat's bloody 99% liquid. They get into all kinds of crevices and slip around. They're squirming and worming. So good on the cats. Maybe the bonsai kittens is the go for you. Thank you, Deb, in a professional, happy time. Thanking you. Music. Monkey magic. Well, that's it for me, for Carl Large. I'll sing a little song to get you out. I should have planned it in advance, but I didn't. So thank you all for joining me on this wonderful journey of discovery and for listening to Carl's Mailbag. And I hope that you all have a beautiful Christmas, a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Kwanzaa, all kinds of whatever your holiday spirit provides. Silent night, Carl Lodge, all is Carl, all is large. Round at my house I've got plump tomatoes, and I made a paper mache Carl Lodge. 30 different Carl Lodges. 30 different Carl Lodges. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great Chrissy holidays, and we'll see you next time.